What's up, folks? I'm recording this as an intro to the socks video because honestly I don't remember if I did it when I originally started. So yeah, here we go. This video is finally about comparing different types of gear, namely socks. Woo. I just got 6 miles. I think I almost got 12 on this run total. Heading back up the Pacific Crest Trail, which is where I've been taking a lot of the socks that I wear to see if it cuts down on blisters. Yeah, so long story short, I wanted to share my thoughts on the 3 different socks that I've worn. 1 in the beginning, 2 in the middle, and most of the time now, the ones I'm wearing right now, and then the brand new ones that I'm trying out to see, you know, usually that brand is solid. So I'm gonna be talking about the Luna mid-crew wool socks, merino socks. It's a blend. And then the Earth Runner wool crew socks, which I think is like almost 100% wool. And the last is the 5-finger toe socks from Satisfy that they just released, that I've been waiting for a year. And yeah, it's a pretty simple video. I'm probably gonna narrate over, and that's it. Don't got a lot of video left, so I'm gonna make sure that this counts. Tell me what you think in the comments below if you watch this. You at all interested in wearing these socks? So yeah, here we go. First off, before we start anything about different types of socks, let me explain why socks are important. I got tired of getting blisters on the bottom of my feet. Maybe I'm tender-footed, maybe I'm not. Socks have been the answer for that. So if you suffer from the same issue, just in general, these socks are useful with or without shoes. So take a gander, see what works for you, hope it makes sense. So the first up that I'm going to talk about are the Luna standard socks. They're the UB tabby socks, merino wool and Cordura ankle length. I'm actually literally reading it off of the website right now. They sell for 30 bucks. I think they were cheaper when I first got them. Let me say this. They're solid socks. They're comfortable. They're soft for the most part, and they have good support. What I find that I end up experiencing with them is they're not great for heat distribution. Like, my feet feel hotter in hotter weather, which is not good, because then that means friction, that means possibly blisters, which is the whole point of the reason why I'm wearing socks now instead of like what I used to do, which was just sandals, barefoot running or sockless running. The socks themselves stay pretty good to the sandals, both the Luna sandals that I wore and the Shama sandals that I wear now. I go to them when all my other socks are dirty, or when I know that it's going to be cool outside and I'm going to use them for a shorter run. If you need some tabby socks, they're actually a good place to start. And sorry, I probably should explain what tabby socks are, because I'm assuming if you're here watching these videos, you're probably already familiar with this type of gear, but just in case, it's a sock that has a toe for the big toe, and then the rest are in the rest of the sock. And they're really useful for any kind of thong sandals. I prefer tabby socks because I think that they just fit better and they cut down on, I have, I guess, weird feet. My little toe never fits in the 5-finger toe socks, so I don't know what's up with my feet. So when I put on the tabby, it fits better than the 5-finger toes, which doesn't make sense. Now, the argument for tabby socks, or the argument for 5-finger toe socks, is since all your toes are separated, it'll cut down on friction between all of them. And that might be true unless you got toes like mine, which the little toe doesn't fit into the hole that is there, or the sock toe, whatever you want to call it for the little toe. So it's still resting against the other toe, which means that there's still a chance for a blister. That being said, tabby socks are also just like an easier transition to having a toe being separated. And what I notice is, especially with thong sandals, if it's a tabby sock, the connection, like where the seam is at on the big toe versus the little toe, or the big toe with all the rest of the toes, is a little bit more fortified because that's where the cut of the fabric is happening. So in general, I noticed that they just do better overall in terms of like lasting longer. And honestly, that is actually where you want the most protection, where either Shama or Luna or Earth Runner, if you don't want like the sandal to cut you because all of a sudden you kind of shift and trip, that actually works out the best. So my recommendation, even though I do have a 5-finger toe sock from Satisfy, is try tabby socks first. I don't think the transition from normal socks to tabby socks is all that hard. And it's kind of cool because, and I'm going to drop some nerd knowledge here, if you've ever played Ayachi from Tekken, you're like, oh, so this is why Ayachi is so cool, because he wears tabby socks and he's a terrible father, like all anime dads. And if you don't get that reference, welcome to me being a gamer and loving video games and tabletop war games and running at the same time. You're going to get a lot of that. Anyways, tabby socks for the win, and on to the next sock. Okay, so on to the second pair, the Earth Runners toe socks, which the ones that I specifically use are the cruelty-free wool tabby socks, both in black and in charcoal. I think I'm wearing charcoal in this current part as I cross the 6th Street Bridge in downtown LA. And they currently sell for 24 bucks. So they're actually like pretty well priced for some specific gear. And I have found myself buying a lot of them over the last few months because they've become not just a running sock, but a work sock, a boot sock. They're super comfortable. The thing that makes them the way they are compared to every other sock, and what I actually think makes them better than every other sock that I've tried so far, is they're mostly wool. And wool is my favorite type of fabric, whatever you want to call it, for socks in general. Before, when I was wearing shoes, my favorite socks were 100% merino wool from Satisfy, because hot or cold, the socks did fantastic with all the different changes. And one thing that I like about these socks, that hopefully I have a video to show you, is they do well with dipping into water and dipping out of water, in terms of like your foot dries really quickly, the sock dries really quickly, so there's a lot less that nasty combination of moisture plus heat plus friction. Which, again, why am I wearing these socks? To avoid blisters. And so overall, these are the socks that I wear all the time now for my longer runs. If I'm going to do more than 2 hours, they're guaranteed to be the ones that I use. If I'm going to wear socks for the whole day and then go running in them, these are the socks that I use. Last race, the 100K, there was only one moment in the middle of the day where my feet started getting hot. And compared to before, I know that that's about the time that it would actually be, but that was mainly because I needed to readjust the sandal and make it tight. And whether like what you see as I cross the 6th Street Bridge, they're perfect. They keep my feet warm. They keep me toasty. And my feet sweat a lot. Like, you know, like it's like one of those, I've experienced the moment while running in sandals where I stopped and my feet literally just watered. And it was the most disgusting thing ever. Switching over to the Earth Runners, have never experienced that amount of sweat. And so I'm happy to say, like, if you're going to go with what are the tabby socks I should start with first, go with these. I like them. They're fun. I always tag them in all my IG. So if this is a sales pitch, it's a sales pitch. I don't care. I am a shill for these Earth Runner socks. So yeah, check them out. And if you do check them out, tell me what you think, because I'd be curious if it's just me or some other person has had the same reaction. All right, now finally, the newest and the last pair of socks that I'm going to describe. You can't really see the brand, even though one thing I do appreciate is the way Satisfy puts all the brand information on the top of the sock. Five finger toes socks are not my actual go-to. In fact, like if I were to include all the five finger toe socks that I have been doing, I would have actually like included some of the Injinji. But the reason why I wanted to bring in Satisfy is because they're actually the reason why I like merino wool. And this is, what do they call it? They're merino five finger toe socks. They're not cheap. I want to say they're $60 to $70. Can't remember the price off the top of my head. I got two pair and I've been wearing one pair pretty much on some of my longer runs lately to test them, to see, okay, five finger toe socks, don't really dig them. Are they better than the tabby socks? Because Satisfy, with the exception of like one or two items, has never let me down in terms of like quality, in terms of this is actually probably the best gear that I have in this particular area. And what I have to say is they're different than every other sock because they have compression that isn't present in the Luna socks nor the Earth Runners. In fact, I would say the merino wool isn't so present, which is kind of a missing because that's what I love. They're the only people that I know that do regular socks 100% merino wool. And it's thick and it's luxurious and it does wonders. The only problem that I discovered is my toes, specific toes, my big toe, finds a way to chew through certain parts all the time. These socks seem to be a little bit different, and I think that the toe area is going to last longer and be good because it's separate, and so therefore it's not being torn in the same way, same friction. And it's also not in a shoe. The only thing that I've also come across that might be an issue is the netting on the side where the sandal straps on where the ankle is at or where the heel is at is starting to rub thin. Maybe it's pulling and the stitching is starting to come loose. Since these are more handmade and less factory made, I think it might be an issue. And I'm going to keep going with them because, you know, it's Satisfy. They're bougie and I appreciate what they try to do. I'm happy that I finally got to try them on. It's the golden hour and I was thinking about having a closing. So I'll try to do this as the closing. So yeah, I gotta say each of the socks have their own thumbs up. Right now, I think just because they're new, I'm gonna be doing the Satisfy more often than not. But the go-to are the Earth Runners. Like, they're just the softest and the most comfortable. I can wear them all day. And you know, in this weird weather where it's cold in the morning, hot in the afternoon, and then in the evening it starts getting cold, just, they're good socks. And honestly, I like tabby socks more than I like five finger toes, which is the thing I'm waiting for Satisfy to rectify. Come out with some tabby socks, man. Come on, Reese. I know you like them too. Ain't nothing like Japanese footwear like tabby socks. But yeah, man, it's been good actually thinking about the gear, and I think it's time to start the series of videos of like how to actually do sandal running, how to start sandal running, because I think I got a lot to say after almost 2 years of doing this. It'll be 2 years since I tried the 100 miler, or maybe a year. It's been a year. So have to figure out when I did shoes and when I did sandals, because that's how much time has passed. And as always, time is passing. I'm just gonna keep going. So enjoy the last bit of the rays of this beautiful sunset.